Right, we're at Shoe Healer again, and Rob's been online and bought another pair of shoes, second-hand shoes. We get lots in the shop. Every week we must see at least half a dozen pair that have been bought on Vinted, eBay, Marketplace, all sorts of places, or the charity shops. I keep forgetting about the charity shops. I've seen some great shoes that have come in from the charity shops. Anyway, this pair here, pair of Loake 1880s, top of the range Loake, and lovely pair of shoes. It is called, what is it called? It's on the front there. It's called the Tetbury. Yep, and Rob has paid £8.99 plus £4.25 for the postage of them, and somewhere will appear a picture of how they looked. Rob has given these a little bit of a clean. In the pictures, all Rob could see is the heels worn down, you see, and the sole. Look at that sole. Oh man, just looks great. So, and look at the sides. Okay, and the uppers. Yeah, I think at some point they've been dyed, or they've had some spray colourant, because you see how it's bled onto the inside there. Look, you see, and onto the tongue, and but a sound shoe. And Rob's going to take these, give them a bit of a clean, aren't you? Yep. And wow, lovely shoe. So things that you can't see, and the things that Rob couldn't see.
That was the only reason I bought them, was because I wanted to do a cleaning video on them.
Do a cleaning video.
So
but
I bought them because they were dirty.
Another good thing is the sole. The sole. Go on, whip one of your shoes off there. So let's. Right. We're bobbing about a bit. So Rob looked at his own shoe that has done how much?
Over 700 miles.
Over 700 mile on those. So and the middle stud has completely disappeared. However, it's still quite substantial, that, yeah, and it still feels quite good. Yeah, I'll throw that down there, not get your toes. This one here, Rob could see the stud was there, so it's hardly had any wear. The sole has done really well. We would expect the heel to go down first, but when we press it, the sole has actually spread a little bit, and it's lifted from the midsole. So you've got like a little pocket under there. Now, that's not the end of the world. Definitely not the end of the world. You could wear it like that, and you know, I don't think it would feel too bad. It might drive you mad. I don't think it'd be too bad. Now, another little problem. Look at the front here. Look on the toes. You see how that toe there has started to separate, and it's got bigger. You see? Can you see how it's got a lip on it there? I don't know if we're getting that, Rob. Can you see the? Can you see the
side view?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah, can you see that there?
Yeah.
So, this sole, when we say it's got this pocket here, it has spread, and it's caused it to dome a little bit, and it's spread in every direction, and it's pushed on the toe where the stitching is a little bit soft. So, what could you do with that? Well, if you were just going to have a heel put on these and get some more wear out of that sole, we'd probably be fine. You know, we would just machine that back, and a bit of glue in it, machine it back, and it would keep going whilst you got some serious wear out of the sole, as long as this little lifting there didn't bother you.
There's another area at the back that might be worth noticing enough.
At the back?
You see where the day-night sole's a bit wider than the heel? It's like it's spread there as well. On one of them.
Oh right, yeah. On there, on that edge there, yeah. So we've got a lip on there where the rubber's expanded. I'm not 100% sure how that happens. You know, it's we do see it now. Paul, when he does a repair, he machines that midsole, and he machines the back of the day-night sole, so it's bonded on completely, 100% bonded on there, so that probably stops it. So what we're going to do with these, trim the toe, put a new heel on. Oh, we're not. We're stripping them down. Let me get this right. We're doing a full rebuild on these. So this pair of shoes, $8.99, originally from the British Heart Foundation, but apparently they have a site online where you can buy these. So, Rob, we're going to do a strip down. Yep, complete strip down of these. The heel is coming off, which needs to come off anyway. what have we got underneath? We've got one layer of leather under there. And then we have this layer of this cardboard material, like a Conti board. Look at that, look just how it rips up. Yep.
That's why it's moving, it's not stuck out, is it?
Yeah, look, that's not been stuck, no. Paul would always put the heel, the old heel on, mark it, machine this all up, and then bond the new leather heel stack on. And yeah, I've got to be honest, a few of the manufacturers don't do that.
I can move the heel.
Yeah.
And then I can move the heel a bit.
And they have this problem. So I'm doing this here at the counter just to show you how we could be doing DIY repairs. And cutting the stitch in there, struggling to get in.
Well, if we don't get them uppers looking nice, this could be the DIY repair test there.
It could. I'm just trying to get in there. That's it, in between the welt and the midsole.
Would they use a leather midsole on these?
No, of course not.
No?
Of course not. No chance. So we've separated that there, and we're doing this all on the bench. We'd like to, on the counter, sorry, not the bench. We'd like to be really doing this over on the bench, but Paul's got plenty on. Right, okay, so we'll strip the rest of these down. I'm going to go to the other method for this. I'm going to just machine the top of those off and then pull it off. So come around here. Let's have a...
You want to mention you there?
Let's have a... Oh, yes.
Before we do that.
Any shoe that is bonded construction, like this, full moulded unit on the bottom, be careful. Bonded construction, older shoes, cemented together, the glue is going to give. So the customer came in, bought these online. This one had come undone, just the glue had given up. He said, it's just this one. I said, hang on, these shoes were made at the same time. The same glue on that shoe is the same glue on this shoe. So look at that. The glue has just gone. So the shoe looks good.
I've never seen just one going 40 years.
No, Paul's just saying. Yeah, so anyway, you know, what can we do now? We can clean all this up inside here. We can clean all this up here. Prime this, bond it together. It's not a cheap repair. And sometimes, if you don't get a good repairer, when they go back on, they're a little bit on the piss. Let's see. So anyway, lovely. So let's get this stripped off. Come on, round here. Right, we're over to the bench and pull the insock out. The 1880 insock out of there. And then, okay. Can I mention, Rob, that we're doing this again? Because Rob forgot to press the button. So we've done this on the other shoe. And you saw us take the other heel off. This is the leather part, look, coming off on the heel stack. One piece of leather, and then the rest of the heel stack is this fibre board, Conti board, cardboard material. The similar material to what the midsole is made out of. And, you know, is it a problem? Well, we'd sooner not see it, but I suppose at the price of these, price of this shoe, it's to be expected. Not machined here, look, you see, not machined. So that is why this sole might have been allowed to spread, and also why this has been allowed to spread, because it's not been machined and bonded on. It's just been put on, stitched on. Might have been bonded, but it wasn't prepared properly, so it spread, and you saw it spread under the heel stack. What we just did with the other shoe, we had it on there, we put the knife in, we split it all the way around the shoe, and then the sole came off. And look, you can see in there, look, see where that this part of the sole has gone like a concave like that, and it's just not been bonded I can't see that there's any glue being on there between those two surfaces. You know, it's come away. Now sometimes that can cause squeaking because the two materials, as the shoe flexes, the two materials rub together and yeah, cause problems. Anyway, we put the knife in, we cut this one round and we took it all off. It's a quick way of stripping it down. However, I've just, something niggled me and it just reminded Paul niggling in my ear that when you do that, you then have to remove every bleeding stitch. Is that right, Paul? When you put the knife in and cut the sole off.
Yeah.
Instead of just running round the machine here and just take the top of the stitches off. Now I think it's good to show that we do cock up now and again. Right.
Do it every video.
Yeah, we do. We do. So, that's the bit at the front that was, you know, it's spread. The glue's gone and it's spread, or if it was glued. Doing it this way. Now, when we take the sole off, and you can see all the muck and everything there, it wasn't bonded on, or if it was bonded on, it wasn't bonded on that well. It didn't get its 3 coats. Is it 3 coats or 4 coats? 3 coats that Paul does, yeah. So that's left us there. And now we've got all the pegs that we didn't cut through with the knife. And then as we undo it, we should be able to pull all those and all the stitching will come out. If not in one, a damn sight easier than it's going to be on the other shoe. So, yeah, that just came back to me. Go on then. Okay, let's have a look. Let's just take some of these lugs off. What I've done there is I've just pulled a few of the lugs off, and then we take the sewing awl, put it inside there, lift like that. Oh, that's good and tight. And you see, we're going to be able to pull it and get all the stitches out. On this shoe here, we've got to stand here and individually pull everyone out because we've split it. Eh? The pain, yeah. It came back to me just a bit late. And I think if I'm watching a video, I'd like to see somebody quickly bang a knife in, cut round it, throw the sole off, and it all looks really good. But if they are then unpicking all the stitches out individually, they're certainly not showing it, and that's... They could well be, Paul, that's a good point. They could well be re-welting the shoes, which of course we don't do. So this is... No, this is all coming off here, and we can get in here now and start to pull this midsole off, which again is going to help the stitches to come out. Look at that, just coming off in bits. But this is a reality of repairing your shoes. Now, in years gone by, we didn't take the stitches out. You know, years ago, we did a more commercial repair, is what we called it. And we didn't take the stitches out. So that was another reason why we would just waltz around with the knife, cut the soles off. But nowadays, we take the stitches out so Paul can stitch back in the same holes. Oh, come on. I've had my Weetabix this morning. Anyway, I'm arsing about now. This is not doing the job. This is rushing, not doing the job methodically like I should be doing, because we're recording. So then we'd knock the nails out, the shoes stripped down. Some of the videos we get asked about re-welting. When a shoe goes back to the factory for a factory repair, they will normally cut all the welt off and re-welt the shoe, and that is a good reason sometimes on a shoe to have a factory repair done. Bad side is they will only fit back what came off the shoe. They won't modify anything. It will just be like for like. So if the shoe was made with a leather sole, you can just have a leather sole back on. I think they say at the factories, because they're stitching through this little rib just here, this is the stitching that they remove, the stitching through that rib there. That rib can only take 3 repairs. After 3 repairs, because I've no idea if they're going through the same holes, after 3 repairs, the rib has done its time, and the shoes can't be re-welted. Obviously, they're not doing it by hand. They're doing it super quickly on a machine, just waltzes round. We have to stitch it by hand. But if the welt's good, we can stitch through the same holes 10 times. So there's no problem with that. They will say at the factory, on a factory repair, the shoe is going back on the same lass. I've been at the factory and I've seen there's sort of a generic last. The exact same last, no. A last sort of similar, you know, do they in the repair side, do they keep every last in every size? And no, they don't. They have a last that's something like for the shoe. So, but it is a nice touch. So that's the difference between our repairs and their repairs. This now, I'm going to take these nails out that have held the heel stack, fight with the rest of these stitches, get them all out, and then the shoe is going to Rob to do a bit more work on the upper before we decide what sort of sole is going to go on these Loakes.
Looking better than that, they're going in there.
I don't think they look too bad already, Rob. I think, you know, it's a little bit patchy, but, you know, suede.
I think they've
Here's another thing, you know.
What?
When you send them to us, you don't have to send them in the spring to get them back in winter.
No, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
8 weeks,
apparently.
yeah.
Yeah. How long?
I think they say 8 weeks.
8 weeks, is it? Something like that.
Down.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
I don't know about Loake, but I
Right.
know about like Barker and that.
Yeah,
They say 8 to
yeah,
10 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, we need to. I think if someone's tried to. I don't think they've dyed them properly. I think they've used one of those sprays.
Yeah.
And it's got just patch on it. So if I can't make them, they're not worth repairing, are they? If they're not going to look better than that.
Listen, they're already not bad at all, and somebody
What
will
are we
want
gonna do
these.
then? We're
What
gonna-
size are they?
What will you do with the footprint so we can get them?
Footprint?
We can squash it out, can't we?
Oh yeah. This insole is lovely. It's really good.
We're going to use my
Really
spray
good.
on it.
Yeah, you've got some spray, of course. Somebody mentioned in the comments about you know, how hygienic is it. I think it's absolutely fine. If the shoe's been sat about for, you know, 6 months and then you're putting your foot in it, it'd be absolutely fine. But there are products out there. Rob's brought one in today that we spray. I'll just quickly grab it over here. Boom. This product here that is bought online, and you give it a shake, give the shoe a good spray inside, and this is disinfectant for your shoes. Proper product there. £4.50 online, is it this? Something like that, yeah.
99.9% of bacteria,
Yep.
viruses and fungi.
Yep, bacteria, viruses and fungi. But most shoes don't need it, if I'm honest with you. If they've stood for a while, which they will have done.
That guy said he got verrucas from a fair.
Yeah, well, you know, that's really, yeah, I think that's a little bit, you know, of course, you know, might be able to happen if you know, somebody's shoes have just come off and, you know, you're getting straight into them. But I would have thought the majority of the shoes that are out there have been stood for quite a while. You know, that's my thoughts on it anyway. I wouldn't worry about it. You know, often I get people with shoes with problems come in the shop. I put the buggers on, have a walk about in them just to see if I can find where the problem is. And, you know, you've got your socks on, and we're all relatively clean people nowadays. Anyway, that's that. They're going to get some sort of tidy up with Rob, and then they will be back in another video or in the rest of this video. Are we trying to do this in one video, Rob?
I'm going to put this out first first because this might take all summer.
Yeah, yeah. Fabulous. Okay, doke.
Are we going to put it out there to give us some ideas of what sole might do?
I'm hoping people come back and
Mine's a
say,
good idea with going to a softer sole.
yeah, the wedge sole. I think a beige wedge sole on there with some lighter stitching on top.
No, you think black and white is better than black and beige?
I don't like
If it was
white.
brown with beige. Yeah.
No, I like beige, a bit of beige. Yeah.
People decide.
I'm at that age where I like a
Put
bit.
vote on it. We'll get some ideas.
Okay,
We'll
please
get some-
vote
We'll get
beige.
some ideas in comments, and then
Yeah.
we'll put a vote to see what you think.
A beige or coffee colour wedge sole on there, or the what's the one with the commando pattern on the soft sole? Genepi, yeah. So please vote beige. One other thing, Rob saying, subscribe, doesn't cost you anything. Click on the button, subscribe, doesn't cost you a bean. If you don't press on the notifications, you won't get notified when we put videos out, but it just makes our channel look a little bit better. We've got more subscribers, more review. Oh, yes, well done. Look at that.
Where's the white wedge?
Oh, you don't want white. Have you got?
That will actually look good.
That will look gorgeous. That, yeah. Yeah, that's. Oh, he has got a white one.
Isn't that the cream one?
Wrong foot.
That's the cream one, though, isn't it?
Well, gives you an idea.
If we put that Morflex one that's even softer, that's proper white, isn't it?
No, it's that one. Vote for the beige. Vote for the beige. There you go, Paul. That's all it's about. Anyway, let's end this video because we're just waffling now. Okay, doke.